Hello, parents. This is Mr. Barry, and welcome back to school. It's back to school night, and in the year 2020, back to school night is another video from Mr. Barry. So, I have put together some information for you that you should find helpful moving forward in the school year. And in a normal school year, we would right now be in my classroom, and you would be able to see where your child sits. You'd be able to see the materials that we use in class. You would be able to see the work that they've completed, posted on the walls. And probably most importantly, you would be able to ask questions, and I'd be able to answer them in real time. So in lieu of all that, I'm going to go ahead and present some information to you that should be helpful in the coming weeks because, well, we have gotten off to a pretty good start, but we're going to have to continue modifying and adapting our schedule and what we're doing in class to best satisfy the needs of all the students. So let me go ahead and get started here with what my presentation is. And so I wanted to let you know first that we're off to a really good start, I think. There's a lot of concern before the school year about distance learning. How well is it going to work? Are students going to be engaged? Is it going to be totally boring? Are the kids going to just check out? And I feel like we have a pretty good connection going on. I feel like most of the students are there and engaged and paying attention, and obviously they're just kids, so they get distracted. That's totally normal. But other than that, I have a pretty good feeling about the class and where we're headed. And I have seen some noticeable progress in several students, and that might be hard to notice in the Google Classrooms, but when I do get around to seeing individual kids, we've now been together for 19 days, and so after 19 days, I've seen the same faces several times in a row, and I'm starting to see some improvements in their writing and in their engagement, and I'm pleased. So that's good. Another positive thing is that the format of this class and the material that I've been teaching, they seem to work pretty well. The materials seem to work pretty well for all the different skill levels, because as you've seen, if you've been sitting in on classes and watch what's going on, the skill levels are all across the board. We have some students who are working on letter sounds and getting the letter sounds down, and then we have some students who are reading much more advanced work. So there's this big disparity in the skill levels of all the students. And well, that's what I've done for many years. I'm totally used to it, and that's a normal thing in a classroom for there to be a big skills difference between the students. And the strategies we use here in this class, they're effective for all different levels. We have kids who are reading the more advanced stuff, and we have kids who need support. There are kids right in the middle. There is no one-size-fits-all way of teaching, at least not any way that works any good. So yeah, I think the way that we're focusing on letter sounds, and we're focusing on sight words, and we're using more sophisticated first grade vocabulary, and I just generally try to speak with a college or at least like high school level vocabulary all the time. So we're covering all those different bases. And in a classroom, I can make sure that every single kid is getting the right material for what they need. And now I'm depending on you guys to really follow through with what I teach and make sure that the kids are doing it at home. And the other positive, off to a good start, we've developed a morning routine. The first several days just felt, to me anyway, like chaos. Maybe it looked better to you on your side, but oh my, it was just madness for me. But now things are kind of starting to feel like they're falling into a routine. We have our certain parts of the day that we do certain subjects, and I'm trying to add a little bit more and more here and there. It's going to be a challenge to navigate this year and try and accomplish all the different skills that the students need to practice, and for me to be able to monitor them and to see that they're actually following through with that progress. And that's where your job is really important. Okay, but off to a good start. Let me go to the next part, and that has to do with classwork accountability. And this has been one big question mark for many teachers. Students in upper grades already have their routine set. They know they have their Google accounts. They already have assignments that are sent to them. They know how to type and respond and send to the teacher, and that works pretty effectively. And it's a different thing for the younger children, obviously. Now, they're going to have parents sitting with them to help them open the assignments, do them, and then complete them. The other thing is that a lot of assignments I give, they don't have any paper evidence. You don't necessarily, or you don't have any evidence when the assignment is read this passage 2 times. The evidence is that I heard you read it, or that a parent heard them read it. But what do? Do you record their reading and send it to me? I mean, it gets to be a little bit crazy. But we do have to implement some sort of system. And the one that's built into Google Classroom is really built for the bigger kids. I really don't like how it forces you to have to do their style of assignments. I want to be able to give my assignments, and then the students do it. And then I have a good way of knowing who's done it, who hasn't done it, and who we can help, who maybe is having difficulties completing those assignments. So anyway, let me read the bullet points that were on the slide. So it's the state of California that's requiring that all teachers keep a record of the classroom assignments and keep track of all the students who are completing their work. So this is coming down, and so I'm going to have some sort of a list, way of keeping track. Now, being able to do that on every single one of those Google Classroom assignments, there's no way I could even process that much information. Much of this homework and classwork is stuff you need to do at home with your child, and you see them do it, and if you see them write those sentences on the whiteboard, or they speak words correctly, or they're able to read, that is the classwork, and there's no record of that. But I will be giving assignments that they will have to open and complete and then send back to me. And we're working our way up to that point. Some students have been on the ball. They have been doing every single assignment right on time every single day, and I applaud you parents who have been helping your child in order to do that. On the other extreme, we have some students who just don't seem to ever go into Google Classroom. Once the class is over, the day's over, and that's a problem. We need everyone going into Google Classroom and completing all of those assignments. Every one, the assignments that's in Google Classroom is assigned to every single student, and everyone needs to do it. Okay, so let's talk about how that's going to work, because this is a very difficult piece, both for me and for you. So let's talk about that. I am going to introduce. In fact, I already did. I assigned your child the first 2 assignments, and they're just reading assignments, and they're going through a platform that I haven't used yet in this interactive way. It's Learning A to Z. And so there's a science article and a reading book that I assigned about sunflowers. And it's going to be easy for some, way too hard for others, but please help your child through in reading it. And I still don't know what it looks like on your end. I only get the teacher view of everything. I see the teacher applications, and when I click on it, it opens the teacher view. And so I can't even see what the kids see. So you do. And let me go ahead and describe that. You're going to open your Google account, and then there's an icon for Learning A to Z, and that is now combined like Raz Kids was in there, the Reading A to Z, a bunch of these other things have been combined into Learning A to Z. And an assignment should pop up. It should just be there and say, so-and-so has an assignment. And then after it's been read, and completed, there's a little quiz at the end, and then it's supposed to send it back to me, and that is my evidence. So this is what we're going to try, and for those students who don't do it, I'm going to have to get after them and make sure that they do it, which means sending you messages and following up with you, because that's how I communicate with your child, through you. Okay, so and I'm going to give you another. I'm also giving you a tour of the Google Classroom, and some of you know this very thoroughly, and others haven't explored yet. I need to clarify that. There is a ton of work for your child to do. There's never a reason to say, well, we don't have anything to do. We ran out of work. I think I'm up to about 60 videos and some 120-something assignments. And Some students have actually done all of those, but if they haven't, then there's a lot of resources to go up and find. Okay, let's get to it. I am going to now show you our Google Classroom very quickly, but more importantly, how to access all those assignments within Google Drive. And I made a brief video about it several weeks ago, but it was right at the beginning of school. There are all these changes. I don't know who's up to date on how to get the assignments, because the stream is unacceptable. The constant stream of assignments that just go all on and on and on. You do not want to be scrolling up and down through that all the time. There is an organized way of finding all the assignments that are done, and they are organized by date, so you can look up every single day of work, and you can look them up by subject: math, writing, language arts, etc. Okay, I already talked about learning A to Z. Okay, I probably should have changed the order of the passages. But so that was our slide on learning A to Z, that if they've already been assigned, please log in and open that learning A to Z and see what happens. Hopefully the assignment pops up, you complete it, send it back to me, and we can get past this part. And then we're going to have the goal setting conferences. That's coming later up. And by the way, I'm going to go back to the Google Drive thing. That's probably one of the more important things we're doing here. I'm kind of just doing the mundane information here at the end. So we will be having another set of conferences coming up. This will be more specific to what you can do at home to help your child, since I will have more information and know even better how to help them, since we already had that preliminary conference and we'll have passed more time together. So be ready for that. And you can also contact me, preferably by email. Parent Square, again, I'll remind you, Parent Square works, but it is a pain in the you-know-what. It doesn't sync with the email properly, and I get two sets of messages, and then trying to find one is an issue. So if you could just send me emails directly, that will just make everything go smoothly. Okay, I am sure that I've missed many, many things in here that you probably would have raised your hand and asked a question about. That was the basic information that I wanted to cover. And now I wanted to go into our Google Classroom and the Google Drive tour very quickly. So you're still looking at my screen. Here's the Google Classroom. You're already well familiar with it. All of the assignments are posted here, and it just scrolls and scrolls, keeps going down. And so yes, every day. So if you're on top of assignments and you're doing them every day, all you need to do is go to this stream, because, for example, today I posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that was it. I posted 9 things for students to do. And that's those are assignments. They're expected to do them. But if you want to look from something 2 days ago and you go to the bottom and then it's got to refresh, and well, there's a whole lot more. It's not coming up, but you don't want to do that. So this is the proper way to access materials from the class. It's to go to your child's Google Drive. You click on it. You click Shared with Me. And when you click Shared with Me, you're going to find all of these folders. These are the folders that I've shared with the students. And I want you first to look at this one, Classwork Assignments, this green spreadsheet right here. Just double click it. This is updated at the end of every day. And this has everything that I've assigned in class. And it's as easy as clicking on it. So all the way down here, all the way to the beginning of school. There we go, 108 rows. Oh, maybe not 120, but once I add today's, I'll be up to about 120. And yeah, you just click on it. It's this easy. You just click on something, and it brings you right to the Google Classroom, the description of exactly what the assignment was right here. You can click on the on all the links that were here. Here's the slideshow. There are videos, the description of the assignment. Everything is right there. So all consolidated in a much easier way to find in this one spreadsheet. Okay? And tonight I will update today's assignments. Next one up is the class archive. So go into the class archive to locate anything from any particular day. So we have one for every single day. This is the first day of school all the way to today. Actually, that's tomorrow. It's still Tuesday when I'm making this video. But Tuesday, this is the material we did. Everything is right here. This is sometimes a lot better than looking for them one by one in the Google Classroom. You just have the whole day's set of work right here. So these are the actual materials. Yeah, these don't have the assignments on them. It doesn't describe what to do, but everything you need, or everything we looked at, we read, we wrote is in here. And so those were the two important things that I wanted you to see. You have access to all of this information. You can get the lessons, the daily lessons from here, or you can get them from the green spreadsheet. And you can also look up anything by topic. I know there's sometimes parents are thinking, well, my kid is really sloppy penmanship. What can we do? Well, I have here every writing assignment we've done, and so far that's every regular school day, not the Wednesdays, but we have a writing lesson here every day. And you could just go into any one of them, and these are not just some boring worksheet. This is an actual activity that kids can do on a real YouTube channel, just like this. And
lesson for today
you probably,
Tuesday the 1st.
You might not be able to hear it in the presentation, but there's an actual video of the lesson for your child to do. So there's lots of work available for your child to do. And those worksheets, those workbooks, I'm having a hard time even figuring out how to use them effectively. There's those books that we passed out. Some of the worksheets are okay. A lot of them are not. But I think the resources here inside of this Google Classroom are a lot more important and be more engaging for your kid and help them learn if you're able to sit down with them. So that was about it. You already know our schedule. We meet every day at 8 o'clock except for Wednesdays. We do meet at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. It's just that Wednesday is that short day. And yeah, we are continuing. We will cover all the first grade standards, which I believe was already sent out in a little bullet point thing that just shows what we cover. And really, it's much of the same as kindergarten. It's just bigger words, bigger numbers, more complicated ideas, more steps in the instructions. Everything you do in kindergarten just expanded. So yes, please give me a call. Not a call. Give me an email right there if you have any kind of questions, because I'm sure that I can't possibly conceive all the questions you might have right now, especially in an online environment that we are all trying to muddle our way through. And thank you very much for every one of you who has been tuning in every day and keeping your kid engaged and keeping a quiet environment so that your kid can stay focused without distractions. It's really, really important. When I'm in the classroom, I have a sense of everybody. I know who's engaged. I know who's getting it, who's not getting it. If somebody is distracted, I can get them back on track. And here, it's just like sometimes you see kids flipping the cameras up and down, or they turn it off and disappear for 10 minutes and come back. And you see them working down here, but some kids you can only see like their head, the top of their head, because they don't have the camera pointed right, and you don't know what they're doing. And so it's like I'm teaching blind. And that's why you're my eyes to make sure that they're following through at home, because we're doing all this. The whole reason we're here together is so your kids will learn and advance. And in the regular classroom, there's no doubt they would be very successful. It's going to take that extra help from you to make that happen in this school year. So thank you very much. Send me any questions, and I will see all of you soon.